What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about KTA, Keeta, the cheetah today. It is a little cheetah. We've got a little green cheetah and a little red cheetah over the past 24 hours. 7 hours, 51 minutes left in this day, the 22nd day of November. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. 25.6 cents right now, which we're down. We're actually, I guess we're up a little bit today. It says we're red today, but we're actually up. And we're up because there's a little gap here. There is a little gap. We've already filled it. There was a little gap here. We opened up here, we closed there. There was a little gap there. And on Coinbase, this is what, and I wish I made a video, but I was hanging out. I wasn't in the mood for making videos whenever we were up here last night. But I did believe, even here, as exciting as it is to watch the price pump back, I did believe very, very confidently that we would drop back down below 25 cents because on the 1 hour time frame, there is this little tiny gap right here. Right, where there's this 1 hour closed right here, the next hour opened right here. There's a little gap, so I knew we'd come back down here and fill it. We are filling it now. We're filling it right now, and I want to see what the fibs are. I want to see, do we go lower? Do we find support here? Typically, when we fill these gaps, we do move up higher, and I think that this recovery, I mean, there's not many cryptos that over the past 24 hours have seen a pump that from a low to a high was 80%. Right? No cryptos that had a long-lasting pump, right? Maybe it was a quick scam wick in 1 hour and then it came back down, but this is a bit different. This is a bit more methodical. This is a V-shaped recovery. It really, truly is. And maybe here, I mean, look, it's true to every aspect of a V because the V-shaped recovery is typically, when I say typically, a successful V-shaped recovery goes above where it started. Above where it started, and this part of the V is faster than this part of the V. It's so perfect, and what we're doing is consolidating now. It's almost like a cup and handle, but with a V and handle. And we're probably going to move up out of this, right? V-shaped cups, they don't exist because they can't sit still. They'll break. But we're going to break something here. We're gonna move up. V-shaped cups are not practical. Let's just leave it at that. But anyways, 1 hour time frame here. The RSI looks good. I wanted to look at the fibs. That's what I wanted to do. I got distracted because I want to see if we are finding support here. Is it here? Do we have lower to go? Can we be accurate in our assumptions here? I mean, we're right at the 382. What I will say is this. In a strong move like this, typically you tap the 382 and you find support. So the fact that we've grinded it out now for a few hours tells me we could go lower. Doesn't mean we have to. We still haven't broken below it. But if we get, I mean, we're getting 1 hour to close below, 1 hour to close above. We're being very volatile here. 48 minutes left here. I have a feeling that we will go lower. So maybe be open-minded to 23.7 cents, 22 cents, be open-minded to it. Maybe even 21.1 cents, be open-minded to it. It doesn't mean that it will happen. We could very well move up from here. Do get excited if we get above 27.7 cents. If we get above 27.7 cents, that effectively validates this low and also validates that we're going to take out that high. So not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Even if you don't buy here, you know, imagine that we take out this high. That high is about 24% away. Right, we'd see higher prices than 24% if you bought right now. Not financial advice to not a financial advisor if we do go higher. But if you waited until we broke the 236, let's just imagine that you bought maybe a little bit above the 236. There's still a solid over 10% chance opportunity. Because again, likely you don't stop right here. Likely if we do move higher from here, we will see an extension. Assuming that this is the low, even if you bought, again, I have the 236 is right here. I have you buying here at 28 cents, which is about a whole cent above, 28.7 cents, which is about a whole cent above 27.7 cents, the red line here, the 236. If you bought there, the minimum expectation would be something on the lines of like an 18 to a 28% pump. And it would likely happen today. It likely happened in a very short amount of time. But that's if we get a 1 hour time frame to close above the 236, above 0.277. 27.7 cents. If we close a 1 hour time frame below 25.4 cents, or at this point I'd say 2 1 hour time frames in a row, statistically speaking, we'd likely go to 23.7 cents or 22 to 21.1 cents, somewhere in here. Find support, move up. The low will be determined by this close on the 236. So if we're here, we close above there, cool, that's the low. If we move down here and we close above here, cool, that's the low. And again, I'd like to see 2 hours close in a row, but if I saw 1 hour close above here, I'd get excited. And a close is very important. Don't just wick and then close below. If we close above it and it's like this where we barely close above it, I wouldn't get too excited either. We need it to break. A break of this level is what we need. Looking at the indicators, the RSI looks good, bouncing off the 50. I like it here. Finding support where you found resistance before. Stochastics are bearish, but you've reset. You've reset. You can hang out here for a while and you can go lower, but you've reset. So you're set up for a pump. The MACD is also bullish and has also reset a little bit as well. 4-hour time frame. Let's look at this. Delete everything. 4-hour RSI looks promising. Getting to the 60 and then falling back to the 50 to find support. That's promising. Stochastics are at the 50 to bounce as well. And the MACD is bearish overall, but you could definitely move up to the 0 and maybe find turbulence there, which would at least suggest momentary growth between now and the end of today, maybe even going into tomorrow. I'm stuck in limbo here. I don't know. Are we gonna find support right here? If so, great. But do we go lower? We really could go lower. It is completely acceptable. It's fine if we do. I'm not convinced really one way or another. And I know this daily candle close, or this daily look right here with this big wick could make it seem like it's obvious that we'd go lower, but I mean, we've had big wicks before and we still went higher. Big wick here and we still went higher. We've had big wicks to the downside and we still came back down. We did go higher afterwards, but I don't trust it. I don't trust it. I want to look at this high to low. Let's just see what we're doing. 236 and down. I mean, if we do go lower from here, I'd really like it if this low held. So the lowest I'd like us to go to is about 20.5 cents. But I don't know. Are we even going to go down there? If we were to go down, we'd probably hold support. We'd hold support at like 21. Yeah, 21.2, 22.1, somewhere in there. If we were to go lower, that'd be where I think we'd find support. Daily time frame, RSI bouncing off the oversold zone. That looks great. That's perfect. That looks immaculate. I love it. Stochastics are coming out of the oversold zone. That's also awesome. That's a good sign. The MACD is bearish, but 2 to 1 more bullish than bearish. I want to look. Let's see if this loads quickly. Let's just see. Shout out to Moonrocks, KTA, because this has more historical data. KTA does on Dex Screener. 8 months, 16 days. Let's do this one. Man, KTA. This one was a good. This was a good one. We got into this one early. Let's see. Yeah. So we back tested prior resistance for support. I'm confident. I'm very confident that if this is not the low, we don't go too much lower. We really don't go too much lower. And I'm very confident in that, and that we will see new all-time highs. From your all-time high to this low of this move so far, the expectation here for me is that we will see new all-time highs, and the minimum target there would be about $3.11. That's about a 12x from here to $6.78. That's a 26x from here. And I do believe that as the cycle progresses, we will see targets that are higher. I'm counting on my expectation is anywhere from $30 to $120 by the end of this cycle, which with the events that have happened recently, that could be subject to change. If we're in a bear market, then these will be the highs for the next cycle. If we're still in a bull market, and I think that we are, I'm not saying if we are or if we aren't, as in I'm not sure. I'm still convinced that we're in a bull market. I'm very confident that we're in a bull market. But I can be proven wrong, and I will accept that. I'm waiting to see results on the charts to prove me wrong before I make that claim, right? But if we're still in a bull market, it's possible that these highs, if and when they happen, it might be later in 2026 than we assumed. For a while now, since I want to say July, maybe it's been since June, it might have been since May, I can't remember. It's been, I want to say since Q2, that we've been assuming that the bull market would continue into 2026 and we would top off in April, May, maybe March, right? I'm starting to think it really might be June, July, August. We could top off in Q3. We could even top off in Q4. This cycle genuinely could push into 2026. And if anybody's hearing that and they're thinking, oh, you're coping, right? That would be the longest bull market ever. Well, first and foremost, we've already had the longest bull market ever. It could push longer. Secondly, whenever you have this kind of constructive behavior where you move up just a little bit, and then you consolidate for months on end for longer than it took you to move up, and then you move up and you consolidate You move up, you consolidate for longer than it took you to move up. You consolidate, you move up. You know, this kind of structure typically allows a cycle to continue for longer. Now, this structure breaks once we see a lower low. Right? We get to a lower low, we're screwed. If we get a lower high and then we come back down, we break the key levels of Fibonacci support or other areas of support that make it statistically probable that we go below here, we will likely flip to bearish. We will accept that this is a bear market before we take out this low, right? But we have to see some stuff happen. If anything, I think that this structure that we're seeing in the markets is exactly what you need to see an elongated cycle. So the idea that this cycle could push into late 2026, I don't think it's that far stretched. I did for a long time. And if we were euphoric, if we were pumping through the roof and I was like, we're not stopping, we got a whole nother year of bull run, then that's how you know that this is just euphoric BS. But we're in the dumps right now. We're in the depths. If we're still in a bull market, I would imagine this cycle goes on longer than originally expected. I would imagine. Because typically these bull runs last for 6 months or more. For Bitcoin, they last like a year, right? Like these like end of cycle finales. And a year from now would be end of 2026. So sometime in late Q2 to maybe even Q4, it could be that we see this 30 cent to $120 price. I don't think that Keeta gets above $120, but I full-heartedly believe it's a possibility. And yes, that's incredible growth. It's a 450 something X. It's a 451X right there. That's the maximum potential, right? It's just like $30 here. I don't necessarily believe that we'll stop at this price or this price. I believe we'll stop somewhere in between. Maybe we stop right there at 64 bucks. Maybe we stop at 100. It's psychological resistance wherever we stop. Even in a scenario where we don't hit my minimum target of $30, if we stop at $12, that's still like a 50x from here. That's still phenomenal. So, I mean, even if we stop at the golden ratio, which I doubt that this is the end all be all, but that's still a 26, 27x from here. That's phenomenal. But I'm rambling at this point. I don't really have anything else I want to say. I just really wanted to get on here and say, wicked volatility. We had some wicked volatility over the past 24 hours. But I think this recovery is a good thing. I think this daily candle, the way that it's presenting itself, is inaccurately suggestive. It's like a bearish implication here. And maybe we do go a little bit lower. Maybe we do have a higher low. Maybe we go lower from here. But I would think soon enough, we're going to rally. And I personally believe that we don't go below this low. But if we do, again, I think that if we do go below this low, we won't go too much lower. That's like 17 cents. I doubt we go below 15 cents. But from here, personally, I doubt we go below 21.2 cents. And I do think that we're on our way higher. The next target area to consider, at least that I'm considering, would be about 40 cents or higher, 40 to 50 cents. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all. Take care of yourselves. All right. Bye-bye.